Hello everybody. I've got a few questions recently about how to use the limited garbage mats in Final Cut Pro with your color correctors. And I admit the garbage mats in Final Cut Pro are limited, but let me tell you what, they're really handy for simple things to save you from having to send your stuff to Motion. So let me show you and explain this. As you can see, I have a simple clip here, really simple, and it's kind of dark. And I will just for argument's sake, let's just say I want to light the skin up and leave everything else the same. So let's set up to do that real quick. Let's go to our effects, video filters, color corrector 3-way. I'm going to add to that clip. I'm going to double click it to load it into the viewer. So now we have our color corrector 3-way tab. Let's go ahead and go down to the bottom here and turn down our disclosure triangle for our limit effects and get our cool little controls here. Let's select our eyedropper, which will let us select the color we want to key. And I'm just going to select right here on the face. Then I'm going to go over here and hit this key button one time and it'll show us our matte. So now let's go ahead and open up some of our sliders to maybe try to add and adjust and grab some of the skin on the face. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Oh, it's actually doing a pretty good job of filling that in. Okay, not too bad. Okay, so now that we have this key, let's go ahead and up our softness, our softening, so it won't be so blotchy. Okay, but what is going on here? We're getting things besides the skin, so let's go ahead and hit our key button twice, and that way when I up it, you can see I'm just affecting the exposure of the skin. And I can up it a little bit just to make it a little brighter. You can see, but as I do that, it's also affecting the back of that chair there, and we don't want to do that. So I'm just going to up the exposure just a little bit to make the skin a little brighter, but I don't want to affect this chair. So in order to do that, I got to add a 4-point garbage mask. So let's go ahead back to our filters, effects, video filters, matte, 4-point garbage mat. And that'll throw a 4-point garbage mat on. So now let's go to our filters tab so we can see our 4-point garbage mat controls. You can see our pluses that correspond with each point. If I select the plus, you can see the point will highlight red, and we can adjust this down. I'm going to bring these points down in like this, right around the back of this chair, like so. The part that we don't want to be affected, like so. Let's go ahead and up the feather, like so. Okay, now we have this part of the chair blotched out that we don't really want. So now that we have that done, let's go ahead and hit the invert key. And boom, now you can see we have our clip, but it is that spot that we didn't want affected is blocked out, and we could have put that mask around anything we didn't want affected. So now let's go ahead and put that clip on track 2. Let's go ahead and go back over here and grab our original clip and drag it and drop it underneath, and boom, now you can see the skin is lightened but the chair is not. And in order to make adjustments easier, I like to go into my filters, and under my 4-point garbage mat, I like to use wireframe, and this will show a wireframe. Now we may need to keyframe this. We're on the last frame. If we go back to, I say right here, you can see our mask is interacting with our face, and if our face moves over that mask, it's going to, the exposure that we use to lighten the skin is going to go back dark, because this area, anything inside this box here, is going to be unaffected by the color corrector. So what we need to do is, of course, we need to go ahead and fire up our keyframe buttons here on our 4-point garbage mat. Let's grab our second point. Let's pull it in like so. Let's grab our third point. Let's adjust it in. Okay. Now let's go forward a few more frames. Now you can see we're overlapping, so let's go ahead and grab point 2 again. We'll pull it in like this. Point 3, and you can see it's automatically setting keyframes over here is our keyframes because we already set our first one, and Final Cut Pro will automatically set keyframes for you after you set your initial one. So now we have that. Let's go forward a few more frames. Okay, let's adjust it back out like so. Let's go forward a few more frames. We need to adjust it back out because the person is getting further away. So you see what I'm getting at here. Let's go ahead and keyframe some more like that. Let's go to the last frame. As you can see, it's overlapping big time, so we want to fix that. It's laborious, but let me tell you what, it can save you some time. And there we go. Our last frame we need to adjust out. Point 3. Let's go back one frame. Okay. Now you just need to go through like this. If you have to go frame by frame, you can. I suggest setting a keyframe for your mask on the first frame, then setting a keyframe for your mask on the last frame, and then go to the middle and set a keyframe and work backwards from there, and then go back and do the other half. I'm just quickly showing you how you would go about doing this. It's a little overlapping there. We want to fix that. Now as you can see, that mask is moving where I've keyframed it, and it's not overlapping there. You can see that. And you'll want to do this for the whole clip. You can see our keyframes working out pretty well. Oh, looks like right here we're overlapping big time, so we'll fix that. Like so. Go to the next frame that we see overlapping, and we'll fix that. Now as you can see, that spot's fixed. Now we got the last few frames. Oh, there was a little overlap there. Right there. Okay. Now we've quickly done the last few frames of this. And as you can see, let's go to our filters. We have our mask. Let's change it from wireframe to final. And there's our final. And now as you can see, if I select our top clip, go to our color corrector 3-way, I can adjust now the skin. And the only thing I'm getting is just a little bit of the chair back there. We just have to be a little bit more precise with our mask. If we look at our mask, we can see all we need to do is just make it bigger because I didn't make it big enough. That's all we need to do there. Just didn't make my mask quite big enough to encompass the whole chair, and that was my mistake. That's okay. That's not a problem. Let's go back and change it back to final. Now the chair is not being affected hardly at all, and you know, I don't want to overdo this, but there's the normal. I'm just going to up it a little bit. There, now the face is a little brighter. You can see before and after. And because of the 4-point garbage mask, we ain't affecting the little bit in the background. And you can use as many masks as you want. If you have a spot here, and a spot here, and a spot here, you can add 3 masks and keyframe all 3. So that's how you go about doing that. That's just one possible use for the mask. I plan on doing several movies with several uses for these masks because there's so many good uses that you can use to save you from having to go to motion. And stay tuned, we got some motion videos coming up, maybe a rotoscoping tutorial I've had a lot of requests for, but other than that, stay tuned, and I'll try to keep videos posted normally. Thanks for watching.